This is a Merlin, a fierce little falcon that hunts with remarkable speed and precision. And this one, a photo of a mystery seabird from a rocky cliff. I'm going to take you step by step through how to identify both these recent bird photos. But that's just the start. I have two more fascinating bird photos from September 2025 to decode. And here's the twist. You won't get to know their names until we've studied their field marks together. Plus, as an added bonus, I'll dig through my archive to find a mystery bird from September 2004 for us to identify as well. Let's start with the Merlin from Washington State. What do we see? What is its shape? A stocky, barrel-chested bird with larger head for the body. The bill is small, short, and strongly curved with a sharp tip. The feet have long, strong toes with sharp claws. You probably recognize that this is some kind of bird of prey. The tail is fairly long. That eliminates buteos, such as red-tailed hawk. The wingtips extend a long way down the tail. That eliminates an accipiter, such as Cooper's hawk. And that leaves us with a falcon. What are its plumage colors? The crown is brown with darker streaks. There's a thin, pale eyebrow stripe. The cheeks are lightly streaked. There's a faint, dark whisker mark on the face, outlining a white throat. The wings are dark brown with no wing bars. The chest is heavily streaked with rusty brown to the belly, becoming almost barred on the sides. The lower belly and vent are almost white with some thin streaks. The legs and feet are bright yellow. The underside of the tail appears dark gray with a few thin, pale bands. In flight, the pointed falcon wings are obvious. The blackish tail with white bars, along with a faint vertical mark on the cheek, confirm its identification as a Merlin. It is most often confused with the more common American kestrel, but the kestrel is more rusty, especially on the tail, and it has two strong facial marks. This kestrel was one of a pair trying to drive off the Merlin in the other photos. Here's a prairie falcon for comparison. It's hard to tell from a photo, but the prairie falcon is a larger, longer-bodied bird. Look at the thicker toes of this larger bird. The mark on the face is stronger in prairie falcon, and the tail is pale brown, not black and white barred, as on the Merlin. Standing on the cliffs overlooking the Pacific Ocean in Oregon, I photographed this bird. It's therefore distant and small in frame, but what can we see of the shape? It's a plump bird with a big head and apparently short neck. It has a short tail and longer wings. The bill is fairly thick and pointed. It is a little longer than half a head long. If you flip the bill back from the base, it would just reach beyond the eyes. It's not a flat-billed duck. The bill is straight and pointed. It doesn't have a strong hook tip like a gull or petrel or jaeger. It must be one of the birds in the auk or alcid family. What are the colors of this bird? Well, it has dark back and wings. The back of the head and neck is dark gray. The rest of the plumage, the throat, breast, and sides, is white but with extensive, messy gray mottling all over. Most black and white alcids are clean black and white, not mottled like this, except for alcids that are black and white in winter but dark in the breeding or juvenile plumage. And that should be enough to make sense of the big white patch in the wing. That makes this bird a Pigeon Guillemot. You may see this bird nesting on shore, or swimming in the bay or near shore on the ocean. But these birds move south and farther offshore after breeding. Very few birders see them in this non-breeding plumage. We're in Arizona for this next one, but don't let the location fool you. What's the shape of this bird? It's a fairly long and slender bird. It has long legs for what appears to be a perching bird. The head is small, the bill is small, thin and pointed. The tail is fairly long and thin. The tertials, the three inner secondary wing feathers, are long and cover and hide the primary wingtips. Otherwise, the wing is short, just reaching the base of the tail. What are the plumage colors? The overall color is olive gray. The underparts are heavily streaked with dark brown on a buff background color, not pure white. There's a thin, partial eye ring, broken in the front. There's a hint of 2 buffy wing bars. There may be a very thin eyebrow back from the eye. More obvious, there's a dark lateral throat stripe and a wide white submustachial stripe on the face. Otherwise, the crown, ear coverts, and back of the neck all match the back and upper part coloration, plain and olive gray. The legs are dark. Do you recognize that this is one of those open ground birds like a lark, pipit, or longspur? Longspurs have short seed-eating bills and short legs, so it's not those. Horned larks, too, have a thicker bill, so it must be a pipit. With the plain back and dark legs, that makes it American pipit. If you'd been there, you could have seen the jerking head and bobbing tail as it walked. But there are some rare pipits besides American. What about one of those? I've never seen one, but this pale-faced Sprague's pipit has a scaled back, not plain. Likewise, red-throated pipit has a striped back. Did you know that all other pipits have pale legs? But then, rarely so do some American pipits. But it's always worth keeping an eye out for pink legs or striped backs when looking at pipits. We're back on the Oregon coast for this next one, looking out to sea from a cliff, which accounts for the distant view and small size. What's the shape of this bird? Oh no, it's one of those pudgy gray seabirds in the alcid family again, isn't it? It doesn't have a flat bill like a duck. It doesn't have a longer neck like a grebe. It doesn't have a dagger bill like a loon. It doesn't have a gull-like hooked bill like a petrel. Yep, it's an alcid. The bill is odd, though. It's kind of a long triangle, thick at the base and pointed. What about the colors of this bird? Gray and darker gray. Both photos show a small pale spot above the eye. The head is rounded. It has an especially steep forehead, and that should be enough of a clue for you to identify this bird as Cassin's Auklet. It's pretty rare to see this bird from shore. To do so, you usually need to scan far to sea with a spotting scope in the range of 20 to 60 power magnification. This bird was a little closer, though, just beyond the breakers, where it was diving. Here's a better view. This bird was on a boat trip offshore, but even from a boat, the views usually aren't this good. Cassins are afraid of the boat and fly or dive when still quite distant. Every once in a while, though, they pop up near the boat for a good view. It's usually just a blink before they dive back down again. So have your camera ready. The main similar species is Rhinoceros auklet. The Rhinoceros auklet is larger, with a longer bill and flat forehead. It's another bird you might see from shore, with enough magnification. That brings us to our bonus bird photo from September last year, 2024. What do you see? What's the bird's shape? Plump and large-headed. It has short legs and small feet, medium-long tail. The bill is small. All these point to this bird being a flycatcher. What are the colors of this bird? It's rather plain gray above. The tail looks a bit darker. The throat is white. It has pale edges on the wing coverts, but I wouldn't call them wing bars. The belly is extensively rusty orange. If you thought it was this bird, a Say's Phoebe, I could understand. This Phoebe is not quite as extensively or brightly orange below. The throat isn't quite as white and doesn't contrast as much with the sides of the head as the first photo, but it's very close. Look again. It's a juvenile male, not quite into its breeding colors yet. Got it? It's a Vermilion flycatcher. Next spring it will sport its bright scarlet color, and you won't be confused as to what it might be. Shape before color. Did my prompting you as to where to look help? Leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching.